Hi, I'm James from Trail Shoes Reviewed. I'm a foot and ankle specialist, and today we're reviewing the Altra Outroad 3. Now, Altra are renowned for their zero drop and their anatomical foot shape. We're going to break down the key features of this shoe, how it performs on the foot, and what it feels like. So the first thing that we're going to start off with is the cushioning. So it's got the Ego cushioning in the midsole, and then it's got an outer sole with 1.5mm lugs. It's got the Max Track grip underneath the sole on the outer sole, and the lugs are positioned in a diamond shape. So due to the length of the lugs, they won't be as good on technical terrain or as on muddy terrain, as it doesn't have that depth like you might get in the Hoka Speedgoat 6, which has 5 mils. That's also the reason why it's more beneficial for road running. So it's a bit of a do-it-all shoe, a bit of a workhorse, because you can run on the road and transition onto the trail, wet or grassy terrain with ease. It can handle all of this, but it can't handle some more of the technical work. It's got a nice anatomical toe box, which means that it splays nicely under the forefoot, giving you plenty of room for your feet to spread and your toes to spread. It also adds and increases the amount of stability under the forefoot by having a broader base of support. It has 27mm of cushioning throughout the whole shoe, meaning that there's a zero drop, so it's the same depth of cushioning underneath the heel as it is on the forefoot. That spreads the amount of load across the foot evenly, but it does place extra stress on tendons like the Achilles tendon. However, having a low drop or zero drop in combination with having a wide anatomical toe box has the potential to be beneficial for conditions like bunions or Morton's neuroma. Something to keep in mind is that the cushion is quite firm underneath. You don't sink into it too much. It doesn't have as much energy return as we might like, so it's more of a firmer, harder shoe. If you enjoy that sort of experience, then you'll find the shoe really beneficial. If you like something a bit more soft, something that you sink into the shoe, you might enjoy the Solomon Genesis instead, which we have a review of. Then as we move up the shoe, we've got the 100% recycled ripstop mesh that Altra are renowned for. It's also got a little bit overlay over the toe box, but not really enough to give you some protection if you hit any hard stone, so it's really quite soft there. It's got a nice lockdown on top with a semi-gusseted tongue, nice bit of padding on the tongue, and then mild padding around the heel counter. Interestingly, on the heel counter, it's quite soft on top, so it allows for extra flexibility. It's a little bit more rigid down towards the heel, but still moderate mobility. So the heel counter is important in a few different aspects. One is if it's stiff, it adds extra stability to the shoe as it cradles your ankle. If it's more mobile, it reduces the pressure on the back of the heel if you've got any sensitivity there. So that combined with the lateral and medial sidewalls, so that's where the midsole comes up a little bit higher in the shoe, around the heel, on the inside and on the outside of the shoe, helps cradle your foot, provide stability on top so you don't slide on top of the shoe. That's really helpful if you're changing direction going downhill. Just keep your foot centered in the shoe, and when it's combined with the wide forefoot, it gives you that extra elements of stability. It's got mild stiffness in the forefoot, so it's a little bit stiffer than the Lone Peak 8, the other trail shoe within the Altra brand. And it's a shoe that we'd recommend for easy runs, shorter distance runs. I think due to the firmness, it's not something that we'd recommend for longer distances, as the firm cushioning might not just provide that comfort that you need for the longer distance that you might find in the Cascadia 18s or in the Brooks Caldera 7s. However, what it is really good for is running on road and transitioning to more grassy terrain. It's an excellent hiking shoe. So if you want to go for long hikes, long walks on mild to moderate terrains, it can work really well for that. And the wide anatomical box is something that we're a big fan of. Caveat to all of this is if you haven't tried a zero drop shoe before, it's important to slowly reduce down the height of the shoe that you use. So if you have a 10 or an 8mm drop shoe, it's important to transition maybe down to a 6 or a 4 before transitioning down to a zero drop to reduce your risk of having any irritation on your ankle or your foot. So we have a mixed terrain shoe that's a mixed use, so a bit of an all-rounder, but has some downsides to it and some things to be aware of. We're a big fan of the Altra brand. If you've got any questions on the Outroad 3, please leave them in the comment section below. We got links to the shoes in the description. If you purchase the shoes through the links, it helps fund the channel without affecting the price of the shoes. However, if you opt not to do that, just like and share and subscribing to the channel makes a big difference to us. Thank you for watching.